Hello everyone on multiple platforms today. Welcome to another Ask Us Anything session. Today I'm joined by Veer. Thank you so much for your time today. He is one of our newer business studies tutors and has gotten a 99 ATAR. So he's going to be joining us today to take us through some business studies questions specifically to do with finance. Would you like to do a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm a UNSW student. I do economics and statistics. So business is still a little bit a part of my life. I've continued tutoring it, so hopefully I'm not too rusty. And yeah, we'll go through some structure today, how to do short answers, section fours, and after that we'll move on to some sort of trickier topics and frequently asked questions. Yeah.
Yeah, great. For anyone joining us across all the platforms, we're on Discord, TikTok, and Facebook today. Please drop your questions in the comments if you've got any business studies questions specifically to do with finance, but also in other regards is fine. We'll do our best to answer it while we're online today. And then even aside from that, anything to do with school, anything to do with managing your time, stress, anything that you'd like any assistance with, that's what Veer is here for.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's get started. What I'll do for those of you that are joining us on TikTok is I'll just flip the screen so you can see what we're going through now. I think we're starting with some structure.
Actually, before that, if anyone has any questions, we'll go through that first.
All right, guys, as I said, for those of you that are on the TikTok, on our Discord server, it is a little bit more clear. It's on a screen share, but if you're wanting to stay on here, that's totally fine as well. But yeah, just letting you know, we're doing a business studies Ask Us Anything session. If you have any questions for Veer, drop them in the comments and we'll be sure to cover it during the session. But yeah, feel free to get started while we wait.
Okay, sweet. So with a short answer structure, more specifically for a 6-marker, because that's the one most people struggle with because it's longer, what we're looking for is it's pretty similar between all the directive verbs, but the main ones are explain, analyze, assess, and evaluate. So those are going to be your sort of main four, and the structure is pretty stock standard between all of them. So we want to start off with a topic sentence, and I'll sort of give everyone sort of a general way to start a topic sentence, which would be we would want to say something along the lines. So let's say if it's an explain, we want to relate cause and effect. So explain is cause and effect. Analyze is positive and negative implications. And assess/evaluate is judgment on criteria / oh, someone's joined the Discord. Hello.
Welcome to our Ask Us Anything session. And they're gone.
That's all right.
Okay.
So, okay, topic sentence. So with our topic sentence, we want to relate it directly back to the directive verbs. So
the person that joined on the Discord has just joined on here.
right.
That's all good.
Okay.
Thank you, R.
Okay, it's all good. Oh, someone's joined on the Facebook. Oh, one share on the Facebook rather.
Yeah, great.
Okay, sure. Probably a parent saying, "Hey, you might need this for business."
Helpful.
Okay, so topic sentence. Let's say we have an explain. We'd want to say there are positive and negative, and then we would say for an effect. For an explain, effects. For an analyze, we would say there are positive and negative implications. Or rather, for an assess, we would say, so this would be for an explain/analyze. That's what we would do. And then we go ... And then we relate it back to the concept. So there are positive and negative effects / implications for the use of whatever the topic might be. Use of ... Okay. For an assess/evaluate, we would say the use of whatever the topic might be is highly effective, moderately effective, effective, or ineffective. So we would take a stance. We would use one of the three. Let's table that up like so. Sort of like that. Nice, okay. So that's how I would structure my topic sentence, sort of generally, for a 6 marker, using one of these directive verbs. Followed by that, we would want to use our definition. This is pretty clear cut. So we would have a definition for whatever the topic is at hand. So we would say, topic refers to ... and you would just put in your definition there. Then we go to what I like to call the how. So when I think how can the business use the topic / concept. So let's say it's technology. Let's think back to operations. If you guys have done operations, how can a business use technology? You would say in this sentence, you would say the business may use whatever the topic might be, like for example, technology, through the use of, and then I'll go ... here, but for example, we would say robots, conveyor belts, AI detectors, things in manufacturing. Someone's, is that you?
Yeah.
All good? All good then. So that's our third sentence. So we have the topic sentence, the definition, and the how. So topic sentence, we address the directive verb and we introduce the topic. Definition, we give the definition of the topic. Then the how can the business use the topic? We give an example. So this is giving an example. And after that, we want to go why. Now, this is going to help you preface your positive points that you're later going to give. Any questions?
We've got 2 people on here at the moment.
No questions.
Just one question we
yes.
have is, do you mind doing an example for human resources?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Which topic in human resources in particular?
Please let us know what topic you're looking for, and we'd be happy to have a look.
Yeah, because there's quite a few topics in human resources.
Okay, I'll let you know when they respond.
Yeah, sure. So I'll keep going with the why. So why, this is going to help us form our positive points. So why would the business choose to use the topic? So again, if the topic at hand, choose. So if we're looking at, again, let's say, let's think of human resources now. Separation. What's something better? Non-monetary rewards. Why would a business decide to use non-monetary rewards? We'd want to link this to both the objectives and business goals in general. So a business may choose to use, again, whatever the topic might be, let's say non-monetary rewards, in order to improve, and then we would link it to the objectives of the topic. So the objectives of finance are profit, efficiency, liquidity, growth, profitability, efficiency, growth, liquidity, solvency. Hopefully I didn't double up there. And for HR, there would be like separation, absenteeism, disputes in the workplace, accidents in the workplace, so on and so forth. We would want to link it to a few of those objectives to improve those objectives. / we could link it to general business objectives, which could be, say, competitive advantage, or even just revenue and growth. So revenue and sales. something more general that could apply to all the topics. All the sections of the syllabus. All right, that's the why. Now, for, again, explain, analyze, assess, and evaluate, we want to use a PNP structure. So it's a 3-point structure. Insert row below, insert row below. So we want to have a positive, we want to have a negative, and we want to have a positive point again. Again, this is for a 6-marker short answer. Seems like a fair bit, but this is what's going to get you the marks. So with a positive point, a nice way to start it off is just to say a positive, again, effect if it's explain, implication if it's analyze. So question.
I think that the person that was asking about human resource assistants was looking to do with roles, is what she said.
Roles. You're not going to be asked a HR role 6-marker, ever. I don't think that's ever going to be a thing. You'd probably be asked more from processes and strategies. From HR role, you're probably not going to get asked a 6-marker. We can go through some of the content to see what it would look like, but now for a 6-marker, it wouldn't be as applicable because it's just not that meaty of a concept, or there's not enough detail in there in that topic for that to have a fully fleshed out 6-marker.
Okay.
So we can go through, so if there's anything specifically in role you want to go through, we can go through just sort of the content, and we can see how that could apply to maybe a 3-marker, a 4-marker, or even some short answers, some multiple choice questions. So if you could, can you please do...
Hey Rihanna, we're looking at business studies today, but 1984 is definitely something we're looking at doing down the line.
I do also teach 1984.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Okay, not today though.
We can't do that today.
But we do have a TikTok coming up in the holidays that has to do with how to, some stills for 1984 and just like analysis related stuff. So keep an eye out for that one. But yeah, if you do business studies, be sure to drop your questions while you're here.
Sweet. Okay. So a positive effect / implication of the topic is, and then you give what the positive effect is. Just a way to elevate it, you can probably even give some examples. So a positive effect / implication of the topic is through the use of, and then you give like a specific example. So if we think back to finance, let's say sale and lease back, we could specifically say through the use of leasing a factory outlet, right? Selling a factory outlet and leasing it back from the person you sold it to. So we get a little bit specific there. So I've given the example of a factory rather than just keeping everything vague through the use of, so specific example. And then we're able to achieve, and we have to link every single positive point, every single negative point back to an objective. So we link it back to an objective. So a positive effect / implication of the topic is, whatever it might be, through the use of, give a nice example, thus we're able to achieve one of the objectives of finance or one of the objectives of HR, operations, marketing, whatever it might be. For a negative point, we have to start off, someone joined, no,
that's me.
It's you, okay, that's all good. Okay, any more questions? Do you guys film and post? Yes, we do film and post the AMAs. They'll be posted to YouTube when?
They'll be posted to YouTube, but it's listed as unlisted, so you've got to click it through the Discord, which I think you're already on. But yeah.
Yes.
It'll be posted like probably within the next week. Great.
Now, with the negative point, we have to start every negative point with whereas, or however, or on the other hand. It doesn't matter how you do it. You need to tell the marker that you're about to switch your point of view, that you're going from a positive to a negative point. Similarly, when you go from a negative to a positive point, you have to do the exact same thing. Whereas, however, on the other hand. Doesn't matter how you do it, you have to state something that indicates that you're about to present a contradictory idea. So, whereas, however, on the other hand, again, very formulaic, a negative effect / implication, whatever the directive verb is, use the language of it. Keep using the language of the directive verb. So a negative effect / implication of the topic is ... So give me what the negative effect is. Evident is blah blah blah, such as the use of. So I'm using the word such as in order to give, again, a specific example. So if you want to give a specific example, just to, say, state the fact that you're leasing a factory, or the fact that the business operates in several different countries, we can say such as through the use of. This includes. An example of this is that. And then we give that specific example. So be very direct in business studies. You don't need to faff around like English. You can be very, very, very explicit. You can be very, very direct and formulaic. It doesn't matter. They're not looking for anything fancy. They're looking for everything to be there on the page. So, such as blah, 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 ... worsening / deteriorating, whatever the objective might be. So again, we have to link every positive, every negative point to an objective. Now, this positive point is going to be the exact same. So it's going to be the exact same, other than the fact that we have whereas, however, on the other hand, right at the start. Sweet. Now, one more thing, linking. We have to have a linking sentence. This can be quite simply, thus, there are positive / negative effects to the use for the use of topic. Pretty simple, but it gets the job done. And for an assess or evaluate, we would just say, thus, the topic is highly, moderately / effective or ineffective, whatever topic we've chosen. Now, if we choose ineffective, so judgment based, so if we choose effective, highly effective rather, we have to do 3 positives. If we choose, actually I'll just highlight the whole thing, that might be better. So if we choose highly effective, we have to do 3 positives. If we do moderately effective, we have to do a positive, negative, positive. If we say it's ineffective, you have to do a negative, negative, negative. Now you can get full marks using any of these 3, as long as you have all 3 points correct and it's all there. So it doesn't matter. So you might come out of an exam and your friend was like, oh yeah, I did a PNP, but you might have done PPP, like 3 positive points. Doesn't mean you're wrong, as long as all 3 of your positives are correct, right? They link directly to the topic at hand and they make sense. And you've fleshed it out well enough, you've linked it to the objective and you used a specific example, you'll be all right. So don't be too concerned about that. And so these are the main short answer 6-mark structure questions. You might see a compare, you might see a recommend. We won't go through those today just for the sake of time. These will probably constitute well over 25-30 of the marks in the short answer section. We'll go through the structure really quickly. Hang on. Actually, we won't go through it in this detail, but we'll go through it quickly. So just a refresher. So it was topic sentence, definition, how, why, P, and P. Link. Okay. Now, if we have a recommend, so this is for a recommend, compare. I'll just write recommend. So for a recommend, what we want is pretty simple. It's just a PPP. And these are reasons in favor. So why would we choose this? So, and we would start off each positive point with saying, a reason in favor for topic, whatever the topic might be. Similarly, if we have a compare, this one's a little bit trickier. There's so many different ways we can do it. I would do positive. So let's say positive for topic 1, similar positive for topic 2. Then I would probably go negative, and then I would go negative for topic 1, and then I would go sort of different negative for topic 2, something like that. We can mix it up. I could even do two similar negatives, or I could do I can just flip them around. I can just do two similar negatives. A similar negative and different positives, right? So it doesn't really matter. But that's how I would do it for a compare. I would provide 4 points this time. So I'd go P, P, and N with providing similarities and differences. At least one similarity and at least one difference. And if you really want to elevate it, you could even add another one and just go how they can have a third compare. So maybe another positive point and how these positive points could be different. So that's recommend and compare. And finally, really quickly, we'll do discuss, which would be positive, negative. So you are going to have to do 6 in total. So 3 P's and 3 negatives. This one everyone dreads seeing because you have to write a lot for it. You're pretty much writing a 12 marker in a way, like a 9 marker, 10 marker. Get through them quickly. Don't faff around. Don't give an example for every single one. Just get them done. Just go, this is a positive, this is the objective it links to, this is the positive, this is the objective it links to. And maybe on the third positive, link it to one example. That's it. But you still need your how, you still need your why, you still need your definition. And this is advantages and disadvantages. Sweet, okay. That's pretty much all the structures that you could possibly see in your 6 markers. Okay, now let's move on to some content. So some frequently asked questions. Should I get this? I'll get this open.
Yeah, take your time.
Sweet. We'll go through, we'll start with sale and leaseback. Sale and leaseback is one that a fair few students have issue with. Any questions?
No, one of my friends don't.
That's all right. Sale and leaseback. So, actually, this will give you some good insight into how to take notes for this as well. I like to take notes for every topic using sort of. I would sort of like a.
Make that bigger. What's on there?
Yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah, sure, that works. That's fine. So I like to do definition, and I'd write the definition, then I'd go how, I'd write a how can a business do it, why can a business do it, and then I would just list in sort of a table format my positives and my negatives. So that's how I would take notes. Now let's actually go through some content. So, I'll make it a little bit smaller. So, the definition for sale and leaseback is when a business sells an asset to receive immediate, sort of abbreviate things, to receive immediate access to funds, sort of just money, and leases the asset back to continue use. So I think that would be an appropriate definition for sale and lease back. It gets the point across, maybe a little bit wordy. You can cut it down where you need it, but it's perfectly fine. Now, the idea behind this, sort of like the concept, we'll run through the concept, is a business has, let's say, a factory, right? And this factory is worth $1 million. The business owns it. And the business has been, unfortunately, not been doing great liquidity-wise. So liquidity is your cash flow. This is cash flow. Remember, this is in working capital management. Working capital management. This is not in cash flow management. Sorry, yeah. This is working capital management. Under strategies. So cash flow has been bad for the business. So that means that money, cash, like straight cash, has not been coming in. So they have an asset that's worth a lot of money, but they don't have a lot of money. So they're asset rich, but they're cash poor. So what they're going to do, there's a guy in a hat, he's very wealthy, and he says, hey business, I'll buy this factory off you. I'll give you $1 million. You give me the factory. So in exchange for the factory. And what he's going to do is he's going to rent it back to the business. Because that factory had all the robots and conveyor belts and molds and models that the business used to make that product. So he's going to rent it back to use. And plus, this guy doesn't have to go and find a tenant to use the factory. He has one right there. So rent back to use. So that leads us on to the how. Very simply, selling. And this is where you can use your examples, like your specific examples. Selling, and we can say, for example, factory, office space, what's another, vehicles, etc. Okay, for example, factory, office space, vehicles, selling, for example, factory. Okay, in exchange for cash, and that would be perfectly fine. How, right? In exchange for cash to later rent back. Now, why? Why would a business choose to do this? To improve liquidity, because they have access to cash. And continue use of a specialized asset. So a specialized asset, again, it would be a factory that would be fully outfitted with exactly the things that the business needs to make that product. Specialized asset. So that's why they would do it. Now, I like to break it up with positives and negatives, sort of like in table format like this. So, quite obviously, a positive is that increased liquidity. Actually, I'll do it sort of in a chain. So, the sale causes increased cash to come in, which leads to increased liquidity. So that's the objective that we want to link it to. That's the objective. Continued use of asset, which leads to increased growth long term. However, a negative point is that leasing is more expensive in the long term, which can decrease profits in a long term. You have to specify long term there, just to sort of elevate your answer. So that's how I like to break up my positives and negatives. We can include more negatives, we can include more positives. But yeah, I think a P&P structure should be fine for now. So this is sort of how I take my notes. We can zoom out on this just to see. So we have our definition, just sort of understanding the concept, how, why, positives and negatives, and that links directly to our short answer structure, and it helped us with our section 4 and our section 3 structures as well. Sweet. So that's sale and lease back. Now, let's do another tricky one, I guess, would be methods of international payment. It's nice and visible from the Facebook one. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah. International payment. Sweet. Okay. So I like organizing it with this acronym. Paul likes... Oh, I'll just write it out like this. So Paul likes buying clothes, which is payment in advance. Also, acronyms are very useful in business studies. Payment in advance, letters of credit, bill of exchange, and clean payment. Okay, so payment in advance. Definition. So this is when seller is paid. Oh, also this is an order. This is in order for safest for seller to least safe for seller, from the perspective of the seller. Okay, so definition is for payment in advance is seller is paid, then the goods are sent. Goods are shipped. Oh, I'll use the word exported just to be a little bit more technical. How? We can say organize sort of a direct debit. Oh, that's not the right word. Immediate online payment. Oh, actually, a direct debit would also work. Yeah, direct debit. Cash in hand, sort of any way in which the seller will be paid first. Cash in hand. But most businesses don't use cash in hand. That's more of like a P2P thing. That's like a person working with another person. Why? Why would a business choose to use payment in advance? Remember, this is business studies. We want to look at everything from the perspective of a business, which is the seller. So perspective, that's an eyeball. So the perspective of the business. So why would a business choose to use payment in advance? We don't want to look at it from the customer side. Perspective, okay. Why? It's safer. Money flows in quicker. So this improves liquidity. And this also decreases the likelihood. It just decreases the chance that chance of theft. Chance of theft. So this increases profit. Now we can look at some positives and some negatives. Any more questions?
Not yet.
Nah, it's all good. Anyone on it? Nope.
Not yet.
Speaking of no one, okay, it's all good. Positive. Okay. A positive is that we can sort of take something out of the why where it's safer. So less theft, decreased theft, which leads to increased profit. Increased speed at which the funds come in, which improves liquidity. Sweet. And a negative point would be that the customer may think, when we use the word think, we actually mean sort of may have a negative perspective on the business. Because the customer might be thinking, does this business not think I'm trustworthy? Why are they making me pay beforehand? And we could actually lose repeat sales. So this decrease repeat sales for the business, which decreases profit. Sweet, that's payment in advance. Now, letter of credit. Definition. Wait, hang on. I've got a really good definition here. I do not want to get it wrong. So I'll use the textbook definition. Nice, okay. So, the buyer gets a document from their bank, from domestic bank, to guarantee the payment of the good to the seller. So this guy is the buyer, and he's like, oh, Mr. That's not really a bank. Yeah. So they get the domestic bank to tell the seller that our buyer will 100% pay you, otherwise we will cover it. A bank will only do this if the buyer has a good credit reputation. So if the buyer has a bad credit reputation, the bank won't do it for him. So our buyer will 100% pay you, otherwise we'll cover it. So the seller first sends the goods, and then the bank says, we will guarantee you'll get paid. So in order, so the letter is formed with bank. Then what happens is that bank ensures seller payment will be made. Then the good is exported. Buyer receives the good, and then money is sent. And if the money is not sent by the buyer, the bank will cover it. Okay. Why? So this sort of improves your reputation with customers, because the customers are trusting you. Sorry, you're trusting the customers that I'll give you the product and then I trust you to pay me. So there's trust there. There's trust built between the business and the buyer. What else is that there's 100% insurer. 100% insured / guaranteed. Sweet. How? You need to establish a letter of credit on the importer side, so the buyer side. and all parties must agree. And a positive and a negative. So you'll still have increased. So you have increased customer rep. You're probably going to get increased repeat sales, which increases profit.
That was just me.
Good.
Go ahead.
Increased profit. And that's our objective that we're linking to in the end. Also, it's 100% guaranteed. So that increases profit / increases liquidity. You could link it to both. Obviously, you're not as liquid as you are if you do payment in advance, but it's still pretty solid. Again, it's an order from safest for the seller to the least safe for the seller. In this acronym order, Paul likes buying clothes. Negative is that you don't receive money immediately. And then there could be an argument made that actually decreases liquidity. Yeah, that's about it. Okay.
Great.
Letter of credit. How much longer do we have?
We're still online for about 10 to 15
That's
minutes
perfect.
or so.
Yeah, that's all good.
So yeah, take your time with it. Again, for anyone that's now on the Discord or on the TikTok live as well, if you have any specific questions for Veer, be sure to drop them in either the voice channel by joining voice, or you can even just drop it in the chat as well. Yeah, happy to go through things not necessarily about finance as well. If you have any general business studies questions, anything to do with school as well, we'll do our best to answer if you've got any questions. But yeah, feel free to continue for now.
Yeah, sweet. So, bill of exchange. Actually, yeah, this will take us right till the end, I'm pretty sure. Should be good. So, a bill of exchange is when the importer uses their bank as an intermediary. There's no guarantee made that the seller will receive money, but the importer, this is starting to benefit the importer, like the buyer now. Uses the bank as an intermediary to ensure imported goods are first received then payment made, then money is sent / paid. Okay, so what's happening here is the seller is sending the good to the buyer's bank, and the buyer's bank, they're holding the goods. So let's say it is like 3 glasses of lemonade, I don't know, whatever it might be. Then the buyer is going to come to the bank and he's going to say, hey, let me check all 3 of these glasses of lemonade that I bought from this seller are in tip-top condition, and they do as exactly as stated on the product description. After he checks that, then he'll make the payment. So then the payment made. So in order, seller sends the good, then buyer's bank receives the goods, then the buyer checks the goods, then the payment is made. Payment sent to seller. Okay, perfect. How? Very simply, the buyer's bank used as intermediary. Sorry, so actually, that's sort of repeating the definition. Buyer establishes domestic bank as intermediary. Pay establishes domestic bank as the intermediary. Informs seller to send goods first. To check for, so when I mean check, I mean like check for sort of defects, quality, quantity, whatever it might be, right? They just need to check that it's all correct. Yeah, that's about it, because then the payment is made. We already specified that in the definition. Why would a business, remember we're looking at it from the business's perspective, this is to improve customer trust. So customers feel more trusted, and they're more likely to do business with this firm that's allowing them to check the goods, then purchase them. So increase customer trust, which would lead to increase repeat sales. Yeah, did they say that the content's alright?
He let us know that the content is fine. It was just the audio.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I can hear you. Yep, all good. Sweet. Positive. Negative. Okay. A positive for this. Again, very similar. All we're saying is that this increases customer rep trust. We're going to link this to increase repeat sales, and then from there increase long-term profit, because repeat sales happen over a long period of time. Negative, however, from the perspective of the business, again, always thinking from the perspective of the business, we want to think that there's going to be a delay in receiving funds, delay in receiving money. It's going to worsen liquidity. Also, there's no guarantee. There's no trust. There's no ensure/guaranteed that money will be sent. So this increases the chance of theft, and this could decrease profit. Sweet. So now you can see that there are more negatives than positives. So we might even consider doing an NPN structure. Again, as long as there's 3 points for an explain or analyze, you'll be all right for a 6 marker. Okay. And finally, clean payment. This one's nice and simple. So we don't need to worry about banks anymore. So the last two involved banks, right? Using banks as intermediaries, using banks as guarantors. This one, very simply, is just seller sends goods, then payment is sent. So there's no banks involved. I'm sending it straight to the buyer. And that's it. And there's no one guaranteeing it that I'll receive my payment. There's no one holding on to the items in between. It's just a clean payment. It's in the name. So how seller exports goods directly to buyer, then oops, I said right then twice, then buyer sends payment. Why? again, it's always a trust thing. It's always to create trust in customers with the business. So again, we're trying to access repeat sales, right? Because if a business trusts you so much that they're willing to send your product, let you check it out, then let you make the payment after you've sort of received it and been given it, they're trying to create trust. They're trying to get you to repeat sales with them, be a customer with them again. So that's why positives, negatives, positive, it's the exact same. Increase repeat sales, you increase profit. However, very, very similar to letter of, bill of exchange. So there's no guarantee. Increased likelihood of theft, decreased profit, and delay in money received, you're going to decrease your liquidity. Now, just before we finish, when we link these objectives, decrease liquidity, we could even extend it on to the fact, like let's say we increase profit, just sort of like talking about the objectives very quickly. We have profit, we have liquidity, solvency, or gearing, whichever one you want to call it. We have growth, and we have efficiency. So when we have increased profit, we can actually be more specific, and we can say increased profit, allowing the business to use extra funds for activities such as R&D. So we're getting really specific there. Same thing with growth. So like increased growth allows us to expand business overseas. So we're getting overseas, and then we can even give a country, like we can say overseas to China, to Indonesia, right? Whatever it might be. Solvency, so increase solvency, this might actually encourage the business to decrease debt obligations and go public. So go public and raise equity. Increase liquidity, extra cash. They could put increase money in investments, right? Or they could even go increase monetary rewards. So this is just little ways that you can expand your examples from your positive, negative, positive, and even in your hows, and then increase efficiency. Right, increase efficiency, you can sort of link it back to liquidity. But if you increase your efficiency, you increase your output per worker. A little bit out of syllabus, this idea. But then, look, this can, again, link to both growth. You can link efficiency back to growth and back to liquidity. And then from there, you can actually just use this example or this example. Sweet. Thank you.
Awesome.
Is that
Great.
time? Yeah, that's
thanks
time.
for that. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna wrap up now. If you have any sort of final questions or anything you'd like us to cover in the last few minutes while we're here, be sure to let us know. But other than that, we're pretty much done for today. That was our Business Studies Finance AMA. All of this will be uploaded onto our YouTube very, very shortly after this, so you can have a look at that to review as well. But yeah, we'll be back in term 1 of 2026 with many more Ask Us Anything sessions. Maybe we'll have Veer back for another round of business studies as well. But yeah, if you've got any other questions, be sure to let us know. Otherwise, thank you for joining.
All good, thank you.